Hello guys. Sorry, I was popping my neck and you guys caught me off guard. I'm making a crop top. I'm almost done. How are you guys today? Thank you. Pretty proud of this one. I free-handed it. When I get finished with it, I'll definitely see if it fits anyways. I don't drink. I'm actually almost 5 years sober, but I do smoke. So I'll smoke with you while you drink. Thank you. I'm hoping it's gonna look good. I used to prefer beer and liquor. I was more of a liquor drinker myself. Not no more. My name is Cheyenne. I don't guess I ever say that on here. I don't ever really say my name. I've never actually done like an introduction. Hi, my name is Cheyenne. Welcome to my channel. I'm pretty new and I haven't even done very many lives. This is maybe the third one I've done. But I'm trying to learn to make myself do it more often. I have Instagram. Couldn't tell you off the top of my head what it is. And I also have TikTok. I'm Chatty Chewy on TikTok. Chatty.chewy, I think. But most of my like my YouTube shorts, they're from my TikTok. I haven't been doing all this for very long. I live off-grid. And so I'm just sharing a little bit of our journey, our life, my life, our spirit, my healing and spiritual journey mixed in with all of that. And I was like, my life isn't necessarily exciting, but maybe somebody might slow down and enjoy it with me every now and then. AR, not AK. Arkansas. And I have an AR. No AK. Not yet. Oh yeah. I haven't done much content on my actual deep, thorough spiritual journey. But I actually grew up Christian, Pentecostal, Church of God and Assembly of God. I was very devoted. I was in ministry myself for a long time. I was actually a minister. I was the youth minister, and then I did some college ministry, and then I did some traveling, and I did some preaching at other churches, and visited a couple reservations. And then I kind of had my spiritual awakening along my religious journey, which took me out of the church, believe it or not. Uh, but it's been a beautiful experience. You know, and even when I was in church all the time, I felt, I don't know, something felt off. I always saw things differently. And I was always in touch with things as a child. I felt things very strongly. And I had questions that no one really had the answers for. And so when I was in college, I started having the opportunity to do things on my own and I research on my own and start studying things how I felt I needed to study. And I found what I was looking for, I think. And I remember my last day in church. Worship used to be my favorite part. And I don't remember the song particularly, but I remember they were singing, they were talking, you know, they were praising Jesus. It was Jesus this, Jesus, 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 Jesus. And I'm like, man, he'd be disappointed in this, you know, because he was the first one to say, you know, this ain't about me. I don't want you to remember me. I want you to remember what I taught you. And so I'm like, they're just not focusing on what is supposed to be focused on. So I left. And I don't play any instruments. I am not musically inclined whatsoever. Nada. I can't even hold a tune with a tambourine. I've always been a little bit of a hippie at heart. So, you know, I grew up in the country as well, so I was very different than the rest of my family. I was typical, you know, Southern, raised on a farm, riding horses, going to church 3 times a week kind of kid. But I love the oldies music. I love the 60s and the 70s vibes. My mom always called me her little hippie. And then I was my dad's little cowgirl. And I'm still that now. I just never thought that I would become the person that I admired when I was a kid. And I think that's the main part of life that people miss out on. It's not about the routines, it's not about the services, it's not about what you claim to be, it's how you treat people. You know, just how you live your life. It costs $0 to be nice to somebody. And the only way it's going to affect your health is to improve it. I'm pretty sure it's been scientifically proven how anger and frustration and just bitterness causes disease in our body because it causes dis-ease. So why not choose just to go with the flow and, you know, show the love? You know, that doesn't mean that you can't have those emotions, but you don't have to inflict them on other people. That's a growth moment for you. I think that's the whole point of life. Pretty sure even in the Bible it says, you know, the greatest of all of these is to love your neighbor as yourself. It is required for you to love yourself. You can't truly share the love with others, I don't think, if you don't have the love for yourself. Yep. People think that because I look the way that I do, or live the way that I do, or have the beliefs that I do, that I don't believe in God, creator, whatever. But I explained to them it's not that I don't believe, it's that I have expanded and deepened my belief in connection. I might have some controversial books on my shelf, but I still have 2 Bibles right in between all of them, and they still get used just as much as all the others. Appreciate that. And I have this saying is, I don't think that there's one religion that's right and all others are wrong. Because if you compare them, they are so parallel in so many things. I like to think that we're all a little right, we're all a little wrong. There's truth to all of them, but everything has been skewed and manipulated by different people over time based on their experiences and desires in life. So rather than trying to divide people and divide beliefs and divide denominations and religions, if we were to come together and share them and connect them and analyze them together and share history and share culture, could you imagine the awareness and the unity? But that won't ever happen because people can't get over themselves to come together long enough to have a decent conversation. Have you ever seen the movie 9 by Tim Burton? I like to use that. If you haven't, you should. It's the one about the little dolls in like the post-apocalyptic world. And I like to use that movie as a metaphor, I guess, for how we are all God, because there's these 9 dolls that the scientist created, right? And he created each and every one of them. Before he died, he took his very soul, his essence, and breathed life into those dolls. It's too sticky. And they all came to life, right? So they all had part of their creator within them, but different parts of that essence of the creator. So they are, like you said, they're all the same, but they're all different. But at the end, when they take their essence, the individual dolls, and bring them all back together, it brings life. So you gotta watch the movie. You gotta watch it. But I don't know if Tim Burton was going there with that, but that was. I am smoking on, it's called, I mixed a couple of things together. One is called Super Buff Cherry, and the other one is Animal Tsunami. I don't watch a lot of movies anymore, honestly. Like, I try to use my time to, if I'm watching or reading something, I'm trying to expand my knowledge. Right now I'm taking time for myself by doing this, but I'm also trying to tap into this to share, I guess, my perspective on life. Everyone's got a perspective, like armpits, or buttholes. Everybody's got one. They all smell different. Some of them stink really bad. Some of them smell kind of good. Yeah, who knows? We all do sometimes, man. But I think that people's beliefs come through, that's the important thing, why it's important to have discernment, but also to listen to your intuition. You know, intuition is nothing but the voice of Creator within you, Spirit within you, God within you. And a lot of what I believe now is because of how I've learned to see and interpret the same things I was taught growing up in church. It's just like, sometimes I wish that I could go back to my home church and be like, hey, you guys are reading this, right? But instead of reading in this perspective and with this knowledge, here's some new knowledge for you. Now read it in this perspective. Or simply older versions in the King James Bible. Lord have mercy. Have a good day. I hope y'all are having a good day. Thanks for being here. I also ate a 100 milligram gummy like maybe half an hour ago. And so like 100 milligram gummies usually slap me pretty hard anyways, but we got these new ones. They have nerds on them, and my God, they kick my ass. And so I was already grooving pretty good before I started smoking that joint. And it's hot outside. I'm trying to stay awake because I know that my dog is going to tell me that it's time for dinner in the next 30 to 45 minutes. My fiance's snoozing, sort of semi-snoozes, watching his YouTube videos next to me. And my dog, he was already asleep, but I think he got a good contact high, so he's passed out. Ain't that right on? Is you comfy, buddy? He's spoiled. They all are. We've got a few dogs. And cats. And a pig. And a couple of chickens. But I thought, what the heck, I just sit here and talk to myself anyways when I'm crocheting. Trying to stay cool. And technology ain't going away anytime soon. So might as well embrace it and utilize it for something good. I mean, if you ain't got nothing else in the world you'd be rather doing right now than watching a hippie in a camper cut strings off of a crop top. I don't know, it's therapeutic for me to do it. Maybe watching me do this is like, you know how some people play video games and then some people watch YouTube videos of people playing video games? This is the hippie stoner version of that. So rather than you crocheting and smoking a J, or you could be smoking a J, you can sit here and watch me do that. Just the little therapeutic sound of the snip. snip. Italy, huh? I don't know. I'm like getting... Have y'all heard about the planes falling out of the skies? I'm not getting on a plane, go nowhere no time soon. We got a good Italian restaurant in town. We go there often. It's the only Italian place. We got like 30 Mexican restaurants, 700 churches, one hibachi spot, and an Italian joint. By God. This is the hippie life for me. I love it. And it's funny because I always like romanticized and fantasized this life when I was a kid. And then when I got older, I'm like, yeah, that'll never actually be attainable. You know, that's not real life. And then real life brought me here. And it's like, you know what? If there's something that I want, I'm going to get it. I don't know, man. That's a lot of tight clothes. I do have one video of me dancing on here. It was with a hoe. It was a gardening hoe. Just so you know. And I'm no comedian or anything. But I do like to keep things lighthearted. I like to laugh. And I'm goofy as fuck. And this is just me. And I don't use filters, so what you see is what you get. This is really what I look like. I promise I'm not wearing no scary mask. None of those goofy filters. This is just what I look like. And unfortunately, this is what I sound like. I've lived in Arkansas probably most of my life. I moved across the state line when I was in high school, but I was born and raised in southeast Oklahoma. And when I get a little high, get a little relaxed, hey, one is better than none. I look less crazy talking to one person on my live stream than I do if there were 0 viewers. Because if I decide to post this to my regular channel for anybody to watch later, they can see that there's interaction going on right now. They can see that I'm talking to somebody. So it's not going to be as concerning as if I were having this conversation with no interaction. You know what I'm saying? And I've done a few lives, but I don't get a lot of viewers yet. And I'm not one of those people that beg for subscribers or beg for likes. Now, if you want to subscribe and you want to like it, by all means, do so. I appreciate the love. I just appreciate the interaction. My thing is that I know that sometimes people get into a spot where they don't want to do anything but scroll and not go out and not talk to anybody. And I've seen some other live streamers on here and, you know, the lifestyle that they're living or what they're talking about. And I said I could do that. And my fiance said, you know what, baby, you really could. You should. And he gave me the courage to do this. And if somebody is scrolling through here and they just need someone to talk to, or, you know, whatever, if it's the vibe, then I'm here. Um, Now, when I used to drink, and I would um, my talking would get real relaxed, and I was speaking straight up cornbread. Like if cornbread was a language. Um, but if I want to put in the effort, I can speak very plainly and very clearly. I did a lot of public speaking in high school, on top of the ministry when I was preaching. But when I'm just being me and I'm relaxed, I'm just me, so I'm high as shit. I'm sorry. What do you do, Mr. First or Mrs. First? Or I'm not politically correct in any of my terminologies. Just a disclaimer, I never mean to offend anyone, but so my apologies in advance if anything I say offends anyone. I always speak with the utmost intention of love and respect, but I was raised old school, and I do not adjust to new things and the extreme change that our society is experiencing. So, whomever you identify as. This is a good place for hippies to meet. I don't drink. I just drink water. I have water. This September, I will be 5 years sober. How's your day going? What do you do, or what do you enjoy doing? I like to ask that because not everyone necessarily does something in particular. Okay. That's all you got to say? That's all you got to say? Thank you for being here. Chatting with me. Watching me be goofy. Entertainment for your viewing pleasure. I almost got all these strings cut off, so I can see what I'm doing. Did I get them all? I think I did. Look at me go. I'm excited. Adventurous? Are you doing adventurous things? What kind of adventures are you going on? Have one. Or you get to go to the seaside. That's cool. I've never, I mean, I have, do you live in America? You don't, do you live in America? Where do you live? What country do you live in? I've never been to, I like to say, the real ocean. I've only been to the Gulf Shores of Alabama. It was not a fun experience. If I ever go to a beach somewhere, it's got to be somewhere I can get me some good seashells. What am I doing? Trying to decide how I want to do this. Mr. First Hippie. I'll just call you Hippie. Trying to decide how I want to do this. So that's one thing about freehanding. I have to keep up with stitches, and I'm not very good at that. Let's see. So I was concentrating. I hear Montana's really, really pretty. I think my dad has done some like cattle drives up there on horseback. I'm concentrating on I don't freehand things very often, so I'm trying to remember what I'm doing and figure out what I'm doing as I go along the way, but I've got to figure it out. I now have to count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 50, I think I think that was 50. I'm not really sure now. This should be plenty long. If I get more subscribers and viewers, definitely. But right now, you would be moderating yourself. Honestly, I think I've only got like, I think the last time I checked, like 61 subscribers on my YouTube. I don't have very many. I just got enough to even be able to start live streaming. It don't even gotta be 30,000. How many zeros is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 30,000. Sorry, I got astigmatism so bad. If I get 300 subscribers, shit, if I had 300 viewers on my live stream, that'd be crazy. I don't even have 1,000 subscribers on my TikTok. Like, you found me at the beginning of my fame. You will truly, like, your name first. You are the first. You are literally, this is the beginning, man. This is it. Well, it is kind of hippie. It's the hippie llama. I used to have a podcast. Actually, I guess it's still on Spotify. Like, you can still access it. But it was called the Hippie Llama Podcast, which is where this channel originally started from, but I never used it. And then earlier this year or last year or whenever, I decided, shoot, hey, why not? I'm doing stuff. People like to watch people do stuff. Why not share my stuff? Well, we'll see if and when. Seems to be whose lucky day? Your lucky day that you found me, or my lucky day that I have one person, which happens to be you, watching my live stream. I guess, I mean, this isn't necessarily my first live stream, but like, this is the one, today was the one where I was like, you know what, if it goes well, I'll do this more often. And so I'm, it's like 10 minutes went by and nobody was on. I'm like, I'll just keep going. I'm not doing nothing but sitting here crocheting anyways. My dog's fixing to tell me she's hungry. And then here you showed up. I gotta count again. I look pale. It's just bad lighting inside. I've got a really good tan. I spend a lot of time outside, but I haven't been feeling too good last couple of days, and it's hot outside. I did spend some time outside yesterday. That might be why I don't feel good yet today. Get a little bit of a headache. So I'll spend a little time right here. But I'm fixing to go outside. My dog, this is Orm, O-R-M, Orm. We named him from, we named him off of the character Orm from the Norseman on Netflix. I'll be here for a few more minutes. Just a few. I heard my dog get up. I know she's hungry. She is on like a biological timer for her food. It's crazy. We are the official hippie club. Invite other hippies, but you're still first hippie. I'm pretty excited about almost being done with this. Pretty excited. But I need to think about this, how I'm going to do this for a minute. So this is a good stopping point. Well, I'll start calling this the Hippie Club Chat. Anyways, thank you for being here. I'm going to go take care of my critters, some other stuff outside, and I'll catch you guys later. I'll figure out how to end this thing.